Welcome to another video game stand characters. What if video game characters had stands? Now, let's get started. Now, I don't need to say the rules because they're in the last video, so anyway, let's get started with the first one, obviously, of course. Let's get started.
Our time is pretty much past.
Arthur Morgan. You're probably wondering why I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 for a while, so yeah, that's the reason why. Now, this stand is going to be the easiest stand, obviously. Obviously, of course, you're going to obviously know what the stand's going to be. It's Emperor, obviously. So, now, I'm going to tell you straight why did I pick Arthur over John Marston to have Emperor as the stand to give him. Now, Arthur's a bit more, let's just say, good-hearted, should I say. Whole Horse exhibits Arthur Morgan's traits, shall I say. So basically, for example, he respects women. Obviously, of course, Arthur Morgan respects women. Well, in the Good Honor. Well, I'm going to say the Good Honor is canon. I'm going to say Good Honor is canon. Because obviously, of course, that is the best ending. And I'm going to say Good Honor is the canon ending. So don't blame me. So, okay? I'm just going to count that as canon anyway. So, even with low honor, you still have to give what's that girl's name the money when she leaves the gang. I don't remember her name, but Arthur gives her the money before and chapter 5 kicks Strauss's out and all that stuff. Like, Arthur is a pretty respectable man. I think the canon ending would be him being good. But anyway, enough of that. Why do I give him Emperor? Because obviously, of course, simply as, it's the only cowboy stand. It's the only cowboy stand that does that. That is exactly Arthur Morgan. So, Whole Horse's character, underrated character by the way. I love Whole Horse. He always wants to be in second place, so he never really wants to be in first place. That's the same with Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan doesn't see himself as a bigger person than he is. He sees himself as, as a broken man. All he wants to do is help people. But what I'm saying is that, like, he can do that really by himself, really, and that's where Emperor is. Emperor really, Whole Horse likes to be with other people, like Jay Guile, with like the Hangman, and even when Jay Guile died and he survived, he went to Oingo, the Oingo Boingo Brundas. So yeah, he went with that little guy. I think it's Boingo or Oingo. I don't know really. I can't tell the difference really. But really, I don't care. Anyway. So yeah, Whole Horse really likes to walk along with people because that's because of his namesake. But whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to dive into his name. Whatever. I think Arthur Morgan would have Emperor as a stand, and that's final. Okay? I think the personality of Whole Horse and the stand will work greatly for Arthur Morgan more than John Marston. Alright, next up, Creeper. Now, this is a mob in Minecraft, and I'm just giving a mob a stand. Now, I'm going to give him a stand that you're probably not thinking at first. I'm going to give him Boku no Rhythm. Now you're probably wondering, why not Killer Queen? Because Killer Queen is the exact same as Boku no Rhythm. Well, actually, there's a huge difference. Not just that, as well. Creepers are afraid of cats. So that's why I didn't really make him as Killer Queen. That's the first thing as well. So that's the first thing, that Creepers are absolutely afraid of cats. So I wouldn't give him Killer Queen because he'd be afraid of that. He'd be afraid of Killer Queen. So the reason why I'm giving him Boku Rhythm is because so basically Boku Rhythm is like a bomb that it can go on its body. So Santana's body, Oyakamawa's body, is an entire bomb, and also he can make anything a bomb. So basically, for example, Mountain Tim tried to grab his skin, and his skin got turned into a bomb. And once he let go, those pins got unleashed. Think of it as like a grenade, and there's like little clocks on them. Now, it's like a contact bomb. It's like a bomb. And once he lets go of that bomb, it explodes and leaves a big enough explosion, bigger than Killer Queen. Now, Killer Queen's bomb is silent and removes any trace of evidence. However, Boku no Rhythm's version is that it's just like a bomb. It just is big. Literally, when Mountain Tim ripped the skin off Oyakamawa, it literally exploded and destroyed the entire building, which creepers do. Creepers destroy the entire building. Now, Killer Queen's is more discreet, precise, and a bit more, let's just say, precise, should I say. So that's why I didn't choose him to have Killer Queen, because obviously, of course, he's afraid of cats, and not just that, it's not a bigger explosion than it already is. And, of course, since Boku no Rhythm is like a bomb, like a ticking time bomb, and creepers are a ticking time bomb. Every time you get close to a creeper, they literally explode. And that's literally what they do. Like, that's what Boku no Rhythm actually does. Well, if you go close to him, he's not going to explode. But what I'm saying is, if you try to do anything against him, he will just use anything to his advantages. He can use the environment to his advantage. He can make multiple bombs, so you can't just make one at a time. So that's just as like as with creepers, because if you spawn multiple of them, that's multiple explosions. And also, the bomb is very big. The bomb is very big, and it's very destructive. It's very powerful, so that's why I'm giving them Boku no Rhythm. Next up, Sonic the Hedgehog, the fastest hedgehog that ever lived. So basically, of course, with Sonic being the fastest out of all the characters in the world, video game characters ever, and I'm not very good at Sonic because I've never played Sonic. Anyway, so the fastest stand, in my opinion, and what I would consider, is Made in Heaven. I was thinking of giving him Made in Heaven. However, that's for more of the Super Saiyan version of Sonic. But I'm not going to give him Made in Heaven because that's too overpowered. I'm talking about the bare minimum Sonic. Like the Star Sonic. What stand will we have? And I was thinking for long and hard. I was thinking Highway Star. Now the reason why I picked Highway Star is very simple. First of all, Highway Star is literally the fastest, second fastest against Made in Heaven. Like basically, it can run as fast as 75 miles per hour. Not just that, not just the reason why it's fast, it can have Ultra Sense. So in the anime, you see there's a lot of sniffing. That means he has Super Sense. He can sniff where anything is. Now Sonic and hedgehogs have a sense. They can sense everything. They can sense a lot of things. Animals can sense a lot of things than humans can ever comprehend. but that'll enhance his sniff. And also, not just that, Highway Star is a very great stand, and it can get rid of your nutrients. And it's a very fast stand. So it's not the question that, oh, if he got a stand arrow, and what stand will he get? It will be probably most likely Highway Star, because of the speed and the overall power of the stand. So I say that Sonic will have Highway Star, in my opinion. Because the reason why is because obviously it's a fast stand, it's a strong stand as well. Not just that, it inhibits some of the personality type of Sonic as well, a little bit. But anyway, that's it. Next up. Kyle Crane, a man who woke up into a world of disaster. So this is Dying Light 1. Now, Crane has a great ability, should I say. Like, he's a very good human. He has peak strength and, like, agility. He can run anywhere. Now, what stand can I give this guy who has literally a lot? He can basically do without a stand. Well, I give him Lonesome Me from Part 7 Steel Ball Run. Now, the reason why I give him Part 7's Lonesome Me is not because of the name. It's also because of that. Because the reason why is because Kyle Crane always is lonely. When you first wake up, he's in a lonely world. He's all by himself. And when he tried to fall in love with this woman, she died in the end. Spoiler, by the way. But anyway, not just that. The stand has the capabilities of agility and a lot of stuff. So Lonesome Me basically separates your body into these segments of rope. And this is actually the same stand user that is Mountain Tim. You know the Mountain Tim that I was talking about earlier, about the Boku Rhythm? Yeah, that's him. That's the guy who owns the stand, by the way. So Mountain Tim uses the stand to move around the world. So he uses this stand to, like, help Lucy, the main, basically, the main goal, basically. She, like, has to do stuff, whatever. He helped her out and squeezed her out of bars, because he can segment his arms and grab her and then, like, get her out, because, of course, you know what I mean, it can go through tiny surfaces. Now, why would I give this guy the ability to grab stuff from a tiny surface? Now, and not just that, Mountain Tim used this ability so many times. He used this ability, so basically, he grabbed hold of Lucy, and then used his ability like a grappling hook, and then swing across. Now, Kyle Crane has a grappling hook, however, this Lonesome Me thing, it also makes it so that it's impossible for anyone to shoot you. Lonesome Me basically separates your body, so basically, when someone tries to shoot you, you can just go like this, and then no one can shoot you, because it can just shoot nothing. And the fucking rope can also absorb water, because Mountain Tim survived only by drinking water in the Devil's Palm, even though it's impossible because there's no such thing as water in the Devil's Palm. But his ability, Lonesome Me, can absorb some water, to let him drink it, so he can squeeze it and drink it. Now that's survivability, but also it's adaptability as well. Like so, you can like Kyle Crane can just run around, grapple, and use lonesome me as well. Like he can use it in tight corridors, situations. So let's say, for example, there's like a small gap. He can use lonesome me and just go and then squeeze right through. Simple as. So that's why I'm giving him lonesome me. Yeah, that's why. Exactly, 100%. Anyway, next up.
You ready for me?
Chun-Li, one of my favorite Street Fighting characters as a whole. Anyway, so what stand will I give her? Now, when I was looking at this character, she kind of reminded me of someone. Someone from Part 6. Who has two big balls, buns on the top of her hair, just like Chun-Li. And doesn't Chun-Li kick a lot in Street Fighter? Oh yeah, she does. I wonder who kicks a lot in JoJo Universe as well. Yeah, that's right. Stone Free. Now, not just that. It's just the appearance of Jolene. She looks like Jolene, kind of bit. So that's the first thing as well. She looks like Jolene, so I give her the stand Stone Free because of that reason. Because she looks like Jolene. But also, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if Rocky actually took inspiration from Capcom to make, Chun-Li actually look like Jolene or whatever. So I given her this stand because Stone Free, out of all stands, like it's the most adaptable and also it's the most like martial art based thing. You see, Chun-Li likes to have the good old fashioned like martial arts, like like fighting and all that stuff. Like she doesn't like these like like basically all these like advanced like technology and all that stuff. She's like good old fashioned fucking martial arts will fucking do. And this stand Stone Free will help her do a lot more than you think. Because Stone Free is a powerful stand. She can also adapt. So like Stone Free can go into strands, and like can like wrap around enemies. It can also like grapple towards them. It can do anything, like anything you can think of. String manipulation, basically anything to do with string. And it can also hear like a telephone, like it can hear voices from the other side, which she can do, which that will help her because she is kind of like, and then she wants to hear information, and this will help her in that way. So I'm giving her stand Stone Free because it's so similar to what Stone Free would Jolene would do. Like Jolene and Chun-Li are literally nearly identical, just apart from being going to jail and of course not gonna say it, but you know what I'm gonna be. You know what I'm gonna. You know what I'm talking about. Literally, the first 10 seconds of Part 6, literally dedicated to that scene. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna tell you that, but let's just say Jolene had a bit too much fun in prison. Let's just say. But I'm gonna give her Stone Free because it's actually a great stand for her, and I think she'll use that to her advantage because Chun-Li is a great character, and obviously, of course, like it's like so like it's so identical. Like she's so identical to Jolene, it's not even funny. Like, and I feel like she'll use that stand the most as well, and also I think it'd be perfect for her. So that's it. Next up. Agent 47, the Hitman from the Hitman series. So what I'm gonna give him a stand. So he really doesn't really need any more power, shall I say. But there is one stand that does fit his personality and what he does in his job, and that's simply Kunamu. Now, Kunamu is from Part 3, and it's a stand that makes basically Oingo or Boingo, I don't know which, again, I forgot, honestly. He can warp his face and change it to any person he wants. So basically, for example, he can go and change it into Jotaro Kujo and can actually have the voice of Jotaro Kujo. Now, the only issue with that is simply as two factors. One, he cannot change his appearance. He cannot change his clothing. However, Agent 47 is a man who actually does that. He pulls off any disguise, so he can wear whatever he wants and he can blend in. But you know what else will help him way more? Now, I know he dedicates his life to that fucking barcode on the back of his head, but still, like, you can still change your face, man. You can still change your facial appearance, let's just say. He can change his facial appearance to have someone that the target knows and trusts. Let's just say, for example, one of the targets, let's just say. You know what I mean? Like, let's say he knows this target, or let's say he figured out this target, who does this target trust the most. Hitman can easily use that stand to transform into the person that person trusts the most, hiding the barcode, whatever he wants to do with that barcode. If he wants to get rid of the barcode, he can easily do that. He has face manipulation, so he can probably just do that easily. But whatever I'm saying is that he can basically morph his face into any person at all, and that's deadly. Because you know why? Because he can pull off any disguise. As I said to you before, he could pull off any disguise. Now, however, there's some disguises that he cannot pull off. Let's say, for example, there's a disguise that doesn't have any hats or any sort of like protective gear on his barcode. So, what does he do? Of course, use Kunamu. Obviously, of course. So this is the most obvious reason why I give him Kunamu, because if he had the stand, he'd be the most powerful. Literally, no one will detect who it is. He will not be detected, and no one will ever know who he is. So that's the reason why I give him Kunamu, because it's so similar to what he does. Like, Kunamu disguises his face to look like someone else, but he can't disguise his outward appearance, so like his like clothes and all that stuff. But 47, being the man of disguises, the master of disguises, he can just easily just wear whatever and make sure his face isn't recognized. So there you go. That's why I give him Kunamu. Next up.
Distinctly remember saying, stop the bus. Yes, stop the bus. Not shoot the bus. I'm very particular with my words.
Pegan Min is an intimidating but charming guy. Literally in the first game we see, in the first second of the game we see him agitated, but we then see him comfort then. Now, what stand should I give him? Now, he's a very broken character, should I say. I feel like I do like Pegan Min. Troy Baker, man, you're a legend, man. You're a goat, man. Anyway, so what do I think? Should I give him a stand? Obviously, of course, with his leadership and his, let's just say, enthusiasm, and of course, main point is D4C. Now, hold on. Before you even before you even attack me, the reason why I'm giving him a D4C is not because he is the president in his own country. Well, he kind of run himself because, well, he kind of got run by himself. But I think he exhibits the charming yet elegant personality of Funny Valentine. Now, Funny Valentine is a patriot. We all know that. We all know that he's a patriot and that he is looking for these corpse parts because he wants to make America great again. Because he's obviously posing as a Donald Trump wannabe. Now, of course, Pegan Min doesn't have Donald Trump's patriotism. He doesn't have the patriotism. However, he does have the personality of Funny Valentine. Now, when you first meet Funny Valentine, he's a calm, elegant, charming man. But then you see his dark side. You see his positive and his negative. So even like when Funny Valentine was talking to Johnny Joestar about how stands have a positive and a negative, a strength and a weakness. So that's why Pegan Min will suit well with D4C. Because the reason why is simply because in his DLC you actually have to fight yourself. And that just reminds you of D4C. Because D4C is the ability of going into parallel universes and actually like going into interdimensionals and like 2D dimensions. It's a very fucking badass ability, but I'm not going to explain it here because it's too long for me to explain it. I'm just here to tell you what stands, what I think video game characters would have. I'm not going to explain the stand, whatever. I'm assuming that you guys already know what the stand does. But if you guys don't know what the stand does, then that's fair enough on me. But that's shame on me. I didn't know. But anyway. So, yeah. By the way, I have 43 minutes of footage of this because the reason why I did the secret ending to this. And, yeah. But I think D4C is going to be the best stand for Pegan Min. Simply is. So, if you don't like that, that's your opinion. But I think it'll suit well for Pegan Min because, again, Pegan Min and Funny Valentine kind of act similar in that way. But, who knows. Anyway, next up. Carl C.J. Johnson. So, with CJ being a complex character, he always has that one thing: identity and self-concept. CJ's identity is tied to his family and his gang. His self-concept is his upbringing in this life. Now, who's a JoJo character that struggles with their own identity and their own self-concept and suffers from identity theft? Is it, what did I hear? Shh. Softando Weto. Okay, let me explain. So, Soft and Wet is a stand that has bubbles and it can steal anything, it can steal friction. It's literally one of the most overpowered stands in JoJo at the moment. It can actually break logic. Now, the reason why I'm giving CJ Soft and Wet is because he struggles with his own identity and his concept with the ties between his gang and his family. He struggles with his own family business to his own personal growth. So he's trying to get his own personal growth. However, his family is trying to not make him get that growth within him. Now, when Gabby, I'm just gonna call him Gabby, okay? When Gabby started, he didn't know who he was because he got fused between someone else. He got fused like a fusion between two people. Now, Carl never got fused between another person. However, he does exhibit traits of Gabby, is that he does have an identity and self-confidence, self-concept of himself. Now, when he gets into this gang of his, he has no idea what has happened within this world of his. Now, he only knows about his mother's death, that someone killed his mother, but he doesn't know who. Big spoiler, by the way. It was Big Smoke. And another point is, he suffers a lot from trauma and he uses that as his coping mechanism. There's a lot of trauma and coping mechanisms that he uses throughout GTA San Andreas. And since Gabby also does that, he struggles trying to he struggled trying to figure out who he is and trying to figure out what he is, and in his first arc. However, then in the second arc, he wants to help his family try to get the Carter fruits because that's the only cure for this rock disease, should I say. And CJ kind of does the same. He kind of does this this path of revenge, trying to figure out who killed his mother. And Gabby is in the same boat. He's trying to figure out who he is and trying to help this family that's helping him out. CJ is doing the same. He's helping his gang out because he wants to figure out who killed his mother. So there's similar traits with Gabby and CJ. So that's the reason why I'm giving him soft and wet. Because he lost his identity. He lost something within him. He lost something. He lost his self-concept at the beginning of San Andreas. Just like how Gabby lost himself when he doesn't know who he is. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoy. This is literally how many days in the making? Probably more than the last one, but it's fun no matter what. I hope you guys enjoy. And remember, don't take this personally. I just like to have fun. You know what I mean? Just like to have fun. And don't take this seriously, you know what I mean? Like, let's say, for example, that Pegan Min thing, you know what I mean? Like, people are like, oh, Pegan Min shouldn't have D4C. That makes no sense to the canon of JoJo. If you even do that, I'm like, this is my video. I like to have fun, okay? Anyway, if you don't like to have fun, fuck off. Now, anyway, hope you enjoy. Bye-bye.